This is Church at Home for Families and Children with Christina Eliason. Christina, go ahead.
Well, thanks for being here. I just want to show of hands, how many of you are still completely remote with your children's ministries? You're not in person yet. Okay, one of you, oh, two, okay. And partially, or so Claudia, are you?
We went back full probably a month and a half ago.
Oh, wow, okay.
But just Kid Church. We are not running girls ministry because of the lack of volunteers, and also the nursery because of the regulations.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm looking forward to hearing a little more about what each of you are doing, and we're going to have some time for that. But here's what I want to do in this workshop.
Can I ask everybody to mute themselves except you, Christina?
All right, I'm just going to share my screen with you. So for the first part of the workshop, I want to just kind of display for you what our church's version of Church at Home is and show you what we've been doing. I'm hoping that just getting a look at what's been working for us will give you some ideas and some inspiration. But since I'm pretty sure that we're all, coming from different approaches to handling children's ministry online, I want to use the second part of our workshop as a real, Judy?
Can I just, I just want to
Yeah.
tell you, I think you are the one with the background noise. Is something near your speaker making noise?
No.
All right, I was trying to figure
Let me
it
mute
out.
for a second and see if that helps. Do you still hear it when I turn it back on? No, I don't hear you, Judy.
I don't hear it now,
Okay.
but now I do. Like what I think what you're whatever you do you have papers on your computer?
Yeah, I have a paper right here. Is that making?
Okay, maybe put it to the side
Okay.
of your
I won't
computer
touch
if
the
that would
papers.
help. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Sorry. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. So the second part of the workshop is to give each of you a chance to kind of put your project, what you're working on for children's ministry online, kind of on a workbench, so to speak, so that we can gather around it and help each other work out some kinks if you have any. I'm not an expert at all, but I thought that if we put our heads together and our gifts together and our different experiences, we can achieve the goal tonight of improving what we're doing for kids. Okay, so let me show you what we're doing. At our church, we are in person for Sunday mornings for services, but not for children's, not any children's program. So we do two things for kids online. We do Zoom small groups, which I talked about in my last workshop. If you missed it, it's on YouTube if you want to learn more about that. The second thing we do is a weekly Church at Home lesson for families, and that's what this workshop is about. Like everyone else, I had no idea that we would be doing Church at Home for a year, so it has definitely evolved from the first Sunday when I just grabbed my phone and sent out a video recording, but we've kind of settled into a regular format that works. It's simple and easy for families to use, not so simple to create, I'll be honest, but it's definitely been worth it. A lot has been gained from doing this, and three things in particular. Number one, it's brought out talents and creativity among our teachers that we did not know were there. We've learned new skills that we're going to continue to use, hopefully, and it's helping families have time together with the Lord, and it's worth doing it during this time. So I want to start with clarifying the purpose of our Church at Home. We're not trying to create a kids' church experience online. We're not live streaming a service or using Zoom for this part. Some of you might be, and that's great. And we can talk about that when it's your turn in the second part. But what we are trying to accomplish is three things. Number one, we want to give parents a resource that they can use at home with their kids to worship God and learn from his word together. And I want to talk about this for a minute because this is so important and it's our main objective. For years, we've been trying to get parents to be more involved in their children's spiritual formation and to see themselves as the primary teachers of faith for their kids. Deuteronomy 6 says, "These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up." It's supposed to be a regular part of family life. I've been wanting parents to grab hold of this for so long, that they are the number one disciplers of their children. And we were trying to get parents to have devotion time with their kids at home for years, like I said. But it seemed that no matter what resources we provided, we found that very few were doing it. Families were so crazy busy. But when the pandemic hit, I became really hopeful that parents would kind of be forced into making it part of their lives and see Deuteronomy 6 come to life in their family. So now it does seem that many families finally are doing this, but I know not all of them are. I still hear parents saying, "Oh my goodness, we have no time." But for those that are doing it, it's making a difference. So this is the first and most important reason why we're doing church at home the way we're doing it. The second purpose is to keep the kids connected to the church by seeing their teachers online and to the Bible teaching that we normally do, and to keep teachers involved in children's ministries while we're not in person. All right, now I want to show you the structure. Let me take you right to our website to show you how we have it set up and what a lesson consists of. So give me 1 second. Why don't I see this? Hold on a second. I had it open and it disappeared. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is our main page as part of the church's website. There's a link to the children's ministry page, and it's where all of our lessons are compiled. As you can see, we started March 22nd of last year, and we have all of our lessons right here. I put the link to this page in the notes that you have at the end of the outline, so you can take a look on your own, and you can feel free to use whatever's there. Our ideas, our videos, whatever our lessons, you can, it's yours to use. So let me take you to a sample lesson. I'm going to do the ones before Easter to give you an idea of what a regular lesson looks like. So this is what parents would open. It has two main parts, a video lesson, and then after the video, which are activities for parents to use. So let me talk about this video lesson first. You know what? Hold on a second. I didn't share the sound. That's important.
And
Okay.
may I say, before she hits this, she's allowing you to use all of her lessons. This is a wealth of material. Okay. Sorry, just had to add that, Christina.
Okay, so the videos are an average of about 15 minutes. This one is like almost 17, but it's about an average 15. I try not to go over 20. And the idea is that families sit down and watch it together. There's usually 4 parts to the video. I listed them in your notes. And what I do is I basically take the main point of the lesson that we would have been doing. In this case, the lesson title is "It Matters Who You Listen To." And by the way, we're going through, we go through the Bible with the kids, and right now we're going through the time of the kings in the Old Testament. So this is one of the lessons on the kings. And what I do is I develop the 4 parts of the video around this main idea of the lesson. So you can do this with whatever curriculum you're using. You can't include everything that you would do if you were in person, because the video really needs to be short. So you want to drive everything that you're doing in the video, all 4 parts, towards the main idea of the lesson. I do have to say the main challenge for us has been to create this video for all the age groups from preschool through 6th grade, because we're kind of pouring all our resources into this. We don't have any more left over to do a separate video for the little kids. So that's where we do need to improve a little bit. And yeah, we're working on that part. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub through the video for you to give you an idea of what it's like. I use iMovie to put it together. And the first part is an opening scene, and I usually use puppets. And what happened at the beginning of the pandemic was that teachers took puppets home, and they've been having a blast at home making these puppet skits in the different parts of their houses and stuff. And the opening scene is usually catchy and funny and cute, and has something usually to do with the main point of the lesson. And what I do is I give the teachers who have the puppets for that day the main idea, and they usually just come up with something. And so in this opening scene, I have these 2 bunnies, they're brother and sister, and the brother listened to the wrong advice and his arms are stuck up in the air. So I'm going to play it for about 40 seconds so you can see the first part.
Church at home.
Hello, boys and girls. It is me, Sally, and it's time for the Sally Show.
Oh, Sally!
Geez,
Sally, are you in here?
yeah, I'm in the middle of filming my
I'm
show.
sorry for interrupting, but there's an emergency.
Well, put your arms down first and then tell me.
Well, that's the thing, Sally. I can't. A couple days ago, my friend told me that if I left my arms up for 3 days straight, I'd become big and strong, because gravity is always pushing us down. So, if I have my arms up for as long as I can, hopefully 3 days, I'd be big and strong.
So it matters who you listen to, right? So they finish up, they go for about another minute or 2. And then we have a slide that introduces our lesson. And for the title slide, we had our office manager's creative and she did it for us. But if you're using a curriculum, you can take a screenshot of the curriculum and put it into your iMovie. And so this is what ours looks like.
66 books in the Bible. 66 books in the Bible.
Okay, and then and I put our theme music, I put it behind the slide. And then there's the introduction by a teacher. Usually I do it, and it usually includes a review of the last lesson and an introduction to the current lesson. And so I also like to interact with a puppet in the introduction to capture the kids' attention. And the puppet will usually either ask a question or present a problem. And this is Ralph. I'm gonna show you my interaction with one of our favorite puppets named Ralph. Hold on a second.
I'm so glad I caught you before the Bible story because I need some help.
Okay.
Okay, let me set the scene. It was a couple days ago when it was really, really warm out, and I went to the park with some friends, and we found a video game on the ground. I held it up and asked everybody there if, it was theirs. And my friends and I were so excited because it was brand new, but I looked down at the package and it was rated M for mature.
So basically Ralph has to decide whether or not to listen to his parents or his friends. And that leads us right into the Bible story about Rehoboam, who listened to the wrong advice. So the next part is the actual Bible story, and I usually have teachers tell it. Once in a while, I'll have puppets do it. I love using a rotation of teachers each week. What I do is send them the passage or the script of the story during the week, and they record themselves on their phones and send it to me by Saturday morning. So you're going to see also in this Bible story part that I use images to go along with the story. I put a couple of the websites in the notes that I use to get images from. Before I show you the clip, I'm going to explain one more thing. You'll see a title slide with music behind it that introduces the Bible story. What I did was I took the theme music that comes with one of the curriculums we use for the younger kids, which is True Fire. They always introduce the Bible story with a song about the big God story. So I took that music and put it under the iMovie title slides. And it gives credit to the illustrators too, if I use images. So I'm going to show you just a minute or two.
Good. I don't know what to listen to here. Does it really matter?
Well, not all advice out there is good advice. It does matter who you listen to. I think we should listen to today's Bible story.
It's time for the Big God Story!
After King Solomon died, his son Rehoboam became king. All the Israelites came to him and said, "Your father King Solomon worked us very hard. If you are kinder to us, we'll gladly serve you as king."
That sounds fair, right, kids? King Solomon had treated them poorly.
So that's the two teachers telling the story. And the last part is a wrap up and a memory verse. I bring the puppet back to resolve his problem. So I'll just show you a minute of that.
You know, we don't always listen to our parents or the people God puts in our lives who love us and care about us.
Oh, I know where you're getting at, Miss Christina. I get it now. I'm glad I heard these stories. They reminded me that it does matter who you listen to. My parents love me, and God gave them the job of protecting me.
Then I tie it into the main idea and I button it up and I introduce the memory verse. And let me just show you a minute of that real quick. I try to use hand motions when we teach the memory verse. Sometimes I'll get another teacher to do it. In this case, I did it.
King Solomon. I'm going to take our memory verse for this week from this book of Proverbs, and it's a verse that will remind us to listen to good advice. It's Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20, and it says, "Get all the advice and instruction you can, so you will be wise the rest of your life." And that's talking about good advice from people who are good and wise. Okay, here are a few hand motions to help us remember this verse. Get all the advice and instruction you can, so you will be wise the rest of your life. Proverbs 19, verse 20.
And then I close, and at the end, sometimes I put outtakes. Teachers send me the mistakes they make and stuff like that, and the kids like that. And it's like at the end. But I put it all together on Saturday afternoon, using iMovie. And if you want to know more about iMovie, there are tons of YouTube videos about all the different aspects of it. And then I upload it to Vimeo, that then allows me to embed it into our lesson webpage. Creating the videos has been a lot of fun and a lot of work, but the video skills we've gained, especially with the puppet skits, I'm hoping that when we do go back in person, that we'll probably use a combination of live puppets and videos too, because they come out really good. You can have puppets in your kitchen acting out a scene. So this experience has not been wasted at all. The second part of the lesson is after the video, and there's 3 parts: explore together, seek God together, and celebrate together. So for explore together, we offer some discussion questions and activities to get families talking about the lesson. And sometimes I throw in a coloring page or a craft idea for them to use while they're talking. And this part also usually includes the memory verse. And then seek God together. Here we want families to pray together about the lesson and its application. I'll often suggest ways of praying, like taking turns saying sentence prayers. Sometimes I'll write down a prayer that they can use, or suggest how they can lead their kids to use their own words. Here in this particular lesson, I thought it was really important. I wanted the parents to introduce this idea to the kids as they go into prayer of the difference between King Rehoboam and Jesus, that King Rehoboam didn't want to serve his people, but look what Jesus did. He served and gave his life. And then they go into prayer with their kids. And celebrate together. Basically, I include a couple of songs for families to sing along to and praise God together that go along with the lesson. And I link it, they're linked to YouTube. Questions? Specifically about what we're doing before we talk about what you guys are doing?
I would like to know how long it takes you to do the video. Like, do you start during the week, trying to get all the information, and then put it together? How, all the process?
Okay, so basically, Tuesday I spend kind of getting the lesson, Monday and Tuesday I get the lesson together and send it out to the teachers. And usually Friday afternoon, I'll record my part, which usually, it depends, sometimes an hour. And then Saturday, once I get everybody's clips, it usually takes me about 6 hours to put it all together. It used to be 10 hours when I didn't know what I was doing. And sometimes we do have a guy who knows, he's kind of busy, but if he can, he'll help me with certain things. If I have an idea, like one time we had all the puppets doing a Zoom call together and he helped me with that because he knew how to do it.
Okay, can I say, even though it takes a long time, you reap what you sow. I didn't make that up. It's in the Bible. Like the more you put into something, the more you'll get out of it. So you may think, I don't have 6 hours to do this. Well, first of all, maybe you don't have to do it exactly the way Christina does it, but it's worth it to take the time and to make a video, because children, we have lost the children during the pandemic. I hate to say it, but we have. And so this and her other workshop on doing small groups on Zoom, please watch it if you weren't here for it. And to get to those YouTube videos, just go to YouTube and put in Judy Mensch, Reach and Teach, and all the ones that we've recorded will come up, okay? But it's just worth it to do it. And that's what I say whenever I do any kind of teacher training. I'm going to ask you to do a lot of work, but it's worth it because you reap what you sow. You know the teachers that just pull it together Saturday night. They just look at the book, or even Sunday morning. Well, that's what you'll get out of it if you just put it together in 10 minutes on Saturday night. So this is worth it because the children are worth it. And then Christina, I wanted to ask you if people do not have Apple, Apple or not Mac people, and they don't have iMovie, do you know some other programs that they could use on their PCs?
Yeah, I know of a few. Do any of you, or do all of you have Macs? No, okay. So there's Adobe Premiere. They have a simple version called Elements. I think it's a free version. I'm not sure, or it's one of the least expensive ones, Adobe Premiere Elements. Google has one. I think it's called Video Editor or Movie Studio. And again, I've never used any of these, so I kind of just looked some up online. There's something called WeVideo that seemed to pop up a bit. So if you do a search on movie editors for Windows, you can look up reviews on different ones. I don't know if you're looking for a free version or a paid version. A search online could probably bring up reviews on them and lead you to a good one.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions about this at-home thing? Because there was quite a few parts to it.
Not a question, well, maybe a question. I really like the approach for the family being involved. I really like, I said the last time, I'm looking for that family kind of involvement. And I feel with the Zoom, when I was doing Zoom for the little one, it was more like the parent putting the Zoom there for them, and then they will go do something else, you know, and the kids were doing it. But with this one, I feel that there is a responsibility and commitment from the parents to be involved in that, and I have done it in different way. I have shared on our Facebook page for children ministry. I have put like, I think that they can do like last year Easter, because when we got hit, it was Easter, right? Last year. So I did like every day I posted something related to Easter that the family could do with the kids at home. Because
good.
I'm like, I know how to do something, but I didn't have any resource to do. That's something that is so wrong, but I still do it. I'm so conscious about my accent that made me like doubt to do videos. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
I know Judy, like, yeah.
No, don't.
Language,
Yeah. No, because, you know, I mean, I lived in Holland. What kind of an accent did I have speaking
Yeah, but
Dutch?
this is the difference. You are an American in another country, and somehow when you're an American in another country, people look at that differently.
No, I was nobody. Trust me. I was nobody for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
getting
love
better. I'm getting better at accepting that like people will have to understand what I'm trying, like a missionary, you know?
I can
Right.
understand you, and I love listening to accents. Honestly, I think I pay more attention when someone has an accent.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. I would like to try it, to try to do
Absolutely.
something. You
Try
know?
something. Start by trying something simple, like
Yeah.
just telling a Bible story. You know.
Yeah.
Do
I want to
you-
try to do it.
Do you record on your phone, Christina?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that kind of makes it a little bit easier, doesn't
Easier,
it, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She
And
does it
on
her
the
phone.
on the notes, I don't have what I gave you, but at the end I have a link to a video that I used, and also make the teachers watch on how to record yourself.
Yeah.
And the guy, it's like a 10-minute video. He gives all these tips on lighting, on background, and he even specifically talks about if you're talking to kids. He gives some really good suggestions. So I suggest,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Claudia, I would not. I mean, you've got it, kid. I can tell. I mean, I don't know Claudia except from these workshops,
Yeah.
but honey, I can tell you're the one. So
Thank
you
you.
can do this, really.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go
You're
for it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm breaking all my wall back. I like, I need to do it. I have to. Yeah.
Do it. What's the
Yeah.
worst that could happen? That's my question to anything.
And
What's the
you know,
worst
the
that could
funny
happen?
thing is, I think I'm more conscious about the adults, because the adults are the one, the kids, and like, they just love me, you know, and like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, I don't know the word. And I just say the word again, and they
Yes.
do it. But it just, I think it's more the adult, like, conscious about the adults, you know, kind of comment, because they are the one, like, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just want to say, if you're starting this, you're trying this for the first time, the first couple months when we were doing it, it was much more simple than what I showed you. I showed you after a whole year of doing it. Like, we didn't always have the title slides and, you know, the transitions and the music underneath. It was much simpler. As time went on, we kind of started adding things to make it fancier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Anybody else?
Okay. Well, are there, let's move to the workbench part. Are there things that you guys want to talk about, specifically about what you're doing that you may want input on?
Because Christina
you
and
guys?
I are
Yeah.
the experts.
Right. What are you guys doing? So Claudio, we heard from you. Was there anything that that you're doing that?
So when I did this, when I was doing Zoom with the little ones, it was, I will talk about something like we talk. No, it wasn't you. The other person last week, she was talking about having like a little glimpse for the topic. When remember she talked about when it's like a meal, the entree, you have like, you know, the little appetizer.
Yes, right.
So I will just
Mary Ann did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say something and then just link it to what the lesson we're going to do. I will put a song from YouTube, and we will like, let the kids dance and sing. And then we will I will read from the Bible to them, and I will ask them to like draw a picture and then send me the picture and I will post it. Or I will show a little video clip from the Bible app with a story, and then we will talk after. So it was like really basic, but it was a small group. It was like from pre-K to second grade. And then when I did the youth, it was more like, that was harder because I have to figure out how to get like games and to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
Because they will go and put the screen, they will come and like, no, you need to be here. I need to see you. But that's how I was doing with the Zoom with the little kids.
Okay, good. Okay, so Courtney, what are you doing?
So I'm actually, I'm brand new to this role. The previous one that was doing this just had a baby, so she's stepping out. I'm stepping in. So right now they're just watching like videos on Sunday, like the lesson and stuff, but there's not much more because I'm just trying to figure out how we want to do it. And there's only 5 kids right now, and they're all boys, 5 and under, like 5 to 1. So there's a lot of, energy that needs to be burnt at home. And so I'm just trying to figure out how to make it interactive, but yet on their level, because they don't have the, the attention span for. So I'm just, it's just.
Are the videos, are you doing it online or are you doing it live?
We're not doing it live. So it's like a link that I haven't even honestly checked it out myself. It's like a curriculum that they were using that we would watch, on Sundays we would use it too, like in person, but they need more, like they're not getting that interaction with anyone. And I was thinking about doing like a week or, once a month or something, like just interacting with them, on Zoom or something. We've only been open for it's a new church, so it's coming on 3 years. And we have a new building, but we're not going into it until September. So we're relaunching everything. So I want to do it, in a way that, because right now there's like 2 volunteers to help, but, so just trying to figure it out, I guess, because this is a new role for me as well. I've done it before, but not as a director. So it's all like, listening to these videos and taking, pieces here and there and trying to keep 5 boys, 5 and under engaged,
Oh, wow. Are they in separate families or are they in one family?
So 2 families. So
2 families.
2 and 3. Yeah. So 2 are the pastor's sons. So they're used to, this kind of stuff. The other ones are just new to us. But I met them and they're like, super ready. Like they're just ready to jump into something, they're very active and friendly. So I want to like, get them to see my face more. So when we're in person that, they'll be more welcoming. And our church is leaning our kids ministry. In Newton, there's a lot of kids with like autism and special needs. So we're basing our group around that just so that when, if more community kids come in, we have, the resources for them as well. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do it all and, get it together.
Yeah.
It sounds like if you took a piece of that video, whatever the curriculum is that you're using, and add some things to it, like the family things to do together, and then maybe at the end of the month, have a little Zoom meeting with everybody and see what they learned, something like that. The 1-year-old, I wouldn't even count as one of the kids because he's really a baby. He
is.
I mean, he's a kid. Not that it sounded terrible. Of course, I would count him.
But he's not going to sit.
Right, he's not going to sit and listen. And when the church relaunches, there will be a nursery that will take care of him. And the nursery is very important. And we might have a workshop on the nursery sometime. But I think doing the other things with those kids is a great idea. Things that the parents can get involved in, using YouTube videos at the end to sing together, doing a verse. And that would have to be added to whatever the piece of that video, what you could do. And I think that you could do that. You know, like you could do it, and the people that work with you, let them get together and help you do those things. And then when you meet live, we can talk again on how to make it happen and make it really run well. Because church has to start for kids again, or churches are going to die. They will.
Yeah. I think right now it's trying to find a new curriculum. I guess the pastor doesn't really love the one that they were using before. So I have a list of ones that I'm going to try to go through. But just trying to find, you know, the best one. And
what are you using? What don't you like?
I honestly don't know. I think it's like the videos are Superbook, but I don't know what the curriculum, if there is a curriculum, or if it's just that she was playing videos and that's it.
Okay.
So yeah.
I do like
starting
Superbook.
over.
I like the Superbook stories, and they're in many languages, which I love. But I don't know how long they are. I think they might be kind of lengthy.
Yeah, I think they're like 25, 30 minutes, which is too long for a 3-year-old to sit still through. So
Chris, what curriculum do you use?
So for the younger kids, we use TrueFire, and then the 1st through 6th grade, we've been writing our own. And what I use to kind of help what we used to help us, because we already completed it, is Phil Vischer's What's in the Bible. So his videos provided the framework for us, and for some of them we've used his church edition, which gives some activities and stuff, but it's great. It takes kids through the Bible. If you use his videos regularly every week, it takes you through the Bible in a year, I think. But we kind of stretch it out, and we do 3 years, and we add our own stuff to it. But we use his videos too.
What was his name again? Sorry.
VeggieTales guy, right?
Yeah, so his name is Phil Vischer, and the curriculum is called What's in the Bible. It's just a video series, but he has a curriculum that goes with it.
Right.
It's excellent.
Yeah. I mean, you know, VeggieTales, you know, he's one of the writers of
he's the creator.
VeggieTales. So how can you go wrong?
No, it's wonderful.
Really.
The only thing is, it's not really geared for preschool or kindergarten. It's a little bit, it's really elementary school age.
Okay.
But TrueFire is what we use for the preschool and kindergarten. It's very involved, like the teacher and child interaction is a big part of it. So I've incorporated some of the things from that into the parent activities, because I'm not really great with the kindergarten and developing things for preschool and kindergarten. I'm more of an elementary school. That's my experience. So I've used things from the TrueFire to kind of help me create things for the younger kids.
Thank you. I'll look into that.
So do you do things, you don't do any videos specifically for the younger kids?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. But you do incorporate a few parent children things.
Yeah, I try to keep the activities at the bottom, and it's still something we're working on. I did do, like, I was getting some parent feedback, and some of the parents with really little kids are saying, yeah, if you could give us something for the little ones, that would be great. So we're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
The one other thing I would suggest, Courtney, is somehow in all of this, it would be good for them to see your face. Like if you could even just somehow introduce each lesson with a little video of yourself on your phone saying, hey, you're going to see this story about such and such, just so they can see your face,
That's a good idea. I know we're going to start doing live recordings soon, like in the building.
Oh, okay.
So, I could be in the room, talking about it and then doing that kind of stuff, which is what I was thinking already.
Yeah.
Just, trying to figure it all out and get myself used to being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like it
But-
either, but I got used to it.
Yeah.
Good. And Marion, can you tell us what you're doing and where are you?
We are in Germany,
Oh, wow.
but I'm originally from the Netherlands. My husband is American, and we're actually missionaries. We do missionary work here, and we've always used Bill Wilson from Metro in New York. We did that work in DC, evangelism, and with the truck with Pastor Mullen, Kids Connection. We have used that in Europe here as well, because for me, I've worked as a children director before in a ministry, an international church here in Europe before with an American pastor before we went to the States and then came back to Europe again. Because it was very flexible for us to work with the program, because he uses life skills and cartoons, and I can work around it, and with the media, because we used a lot of media. What Judith said before in one of her teachings, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and switch, and go, because we're working with international church here, English speaking. So it's a lot of different international people coming into the ministry. But since the pandemic came, a lot of families are not coming anymore. Another issue that we have in Europe is that we have small churches, small buildings. We can't keep the 1.5 meter distance. So we did a VBS outside in the park. We asked permission for that, and we gathered the kids there. And as far as this is now that I'm seeing some things and some ideas as far as with the Zoom with the kids, because I had listened to one teaching in the UK, but really didn't explain, how to go with it with the Zoom. So yeah, because we had discussed it with the church that we were working with before, and they told us that a lot of the children were not coming anymore, the families. And then, like I said, with the distance upstairs, we had a small room, and we could maybe only get 6, 7 people in there, and then if we get us in there, and then with the distance that they want, I mean, it's just not possible to do. So but what I have learned tonight, I can definitely share and see, if they can set up something like that for the children on internet,
Yes.
on the Zoom.
That would be great.
Mhm.
Ja. En wij kunnen in Nederlands praten.
Ja, je kan goed praten Nederlands toch misschien.
Mijn Nederlands is nog slecht, maar ik kan.
Nee, is
ik
goed.
kan- ja.
Mijn man kan niet praten. My
Echt
husband cannot
waar?
speak. No, he cannot. He's from New Jersey. He's from Newark, and it's been always difficult for him. And the Dutch was always speaking English to him. So it was like, oh yeah, I speak English, So it's a
Well,
difficult language for him to pick up.
Yes. Well, it was not exactly appeltje eitje for my.
Nee, nee.
Yeah, I said it wasn't that easy. It wasn't like a piece of cake for me either. But and they say appeltje eitje, like a little apple and a little egg. It's like a piece of cake. But yeah, but anyway, so I was just showing off. Sorry.
Yeah, my it's a little different here in Europe as far as the environment that we are in.
Yeah,
it's
that's true. How's it going with like vaccinations in Germany? Are they there? Do you have them yet?
They have them, but there has been problems with them, and there's a lot of people that don't want to take the vaccinations. There's a lot of things going on. We are in a very, very heavy lockdowns where restaurants, everything has been closed, even stores. I mean, it's causing psychological a lot on the people too. You can look at them and see when you go on the street. I mean, we have a prayer meeting every Tuesday night. We are praying and seeking God for direction too. I mean, because I see a lot of things coming up, and this suicide under the children, it's not easy. No.
Yeah, you have very large problems, more than we have.
Yeah,
I know Netherlands is on total lockdown also for a while. no stores open, no restaurants.
Still is.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's been for a while and it still is. So
There is no perspective, and you see it with the youth, with the children is, and then Germany is very, they wanted, the children have not been in school, so they had to do homeschooling, but then the internet is not up to date. They were not up to date. So a lot of children, they have missed completely a whole school year.
Oh my goodness.
So, but we are preparing ourselves, my husband and I, we see there's a lot, it's going to be a lot of work that's going to be done, you know, after kind of like things settle, and we'll see where God is leading this. But yeah, there's a lot. They talking about even in the UK, reading skills, writing skills is all gone. I mean, because they haven't had it at home, and then a lot of parents don't have computers, you know, and so it's really been a big problem here.
yes. Yes, we will pray for you that this lesson today, that you can do something for the kids,
Right.
you know, via video. That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have anything they would like to share or ask Christina? Because if not, it's just about time for us to close. I don't want to go later than I say. You know, I like to keep to the time, but I don't want to cut anybody off. And Christina and I will stay on. If anybody still wants to talk or wants to share anything, that won't be a problem at all. But otherwise, we will formally dismiss now. So if you have to go, we say thank you. And you know what? Let's pray for Marion right now before we go, okay? Father, I just thank you for Marion and her husband and what they're doing in Germany, what they did here, and how they love children and want to minister to them. And I pray that you would just break the darkness that is happening in Germany and all over Europe right now. Break that darkness in the name of Jesus so your light will shine and children can learn about Jesus and children can follow him and they would know that he loves them. Father, I just ask for Marion and her husband that you would anoint them and use them, give them wisdom and knowledge, and just give them the resources that they need to spread the light of Jesus Christ. In his name we ask. Amen. Amen. Marion, we are praying for you.
Thank you.
Ladies, let's, you know, yeah, you're welcome. And we'll say goodbye. Okay.
All right.
Thank
I learned
you
a
for
lot,
joining
and
us,
thank you.
everybody.
Good.
Yeah, you're
Good.
welcome.
You're welcome.
Our pleasure.
Blessings.
Blessings
Yes,
to
you
you.
too.
Yes.
Come on a Saturday. It's earlier. You know, like you can come at 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Okay.
It's okay. It's well worth it.
Okay.
You have to, like you say, you know, we have driven hours at times to do ministry work, so we know what it takes. It takes effort, and you'll see the results.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You reap what you sow. Good.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.